Shots in the Dark contains graphic depictions of events that may not be suitable for all listeners. We encourage all of our listeners to be open-minded and engage in dialogue with us through any of our social media accounts or email.
I want to act like it's prohibition, but also still have access to alcohol.
Hi!
Hi.
Welcome to Shots in the Dark, where one of us is very sick today.
I'm a goose.
But the show must go on. And we are recording anyway.
Just so you guys know, since we sound so much alike, that's Ty, and I'm the goose named Whitney.
That's right. So I'm excited that now I can finally tell you about the things that I learned about.
Okay.
So while I was sitting in the DMV the other day and I had nothing to do, I was just perusing through news articles, and I saw that in Germany there's this older guy in his 60s that is being charged with attempted murder and is potentially responsible for 21 murders.
Wow.
At the company he's worked at forever because they caught him poisoning somebody's sandwich in their lunchbox.
Oh my gosh.
And
what does he do?
he had all these different like heavy metal compounds at his home, like mercury and cadmium.
I mean, obviously, who doesn't?
And he was smearing them on people's sandwiches and stuff. And they were saying that over the past however many years, they've had a crazy amount of people die before their retirement. And they've almost all had heart attacks or had other things that are related to heavy metal poisoning.
Oh.
So now they have to go exhume the bodies and check them out. And this guy might be responsible for like a whole butt ton of them. So I found out that.
Also, how didn't the people taste that there was a metallic flavor in their food?
The person who they essentially caught him poisoning their lunch went to go eat said lunch and was like, there's something weird smeared on my sandwich.
Yeah.
And basically just went to a manager or HR and said something about it. And then they went back and checked the cameras and you can see him going in the fridge and doing it.
Oh, good.
So I'm happy that somebody said something.
I mean, I can
noticed.
taste metal. It's for when I get sick, like now, where I try to hippie treat things because other medications make me a little bit too flowery, let's call it. But I have like liquid silver that it's like a spray, and I keep going to people and being like, it tastes awful, it tastes like metal. Every time they're like, no, it tastes like water. There's no possibility. I would have caught that guy immediately.
The other thing that I wanted to tell you about is significantly less awful. In fact, it's actually kind of a cool thing.
Okay.
I also had to go to one of my colleges today because I'm weirdly a student at two colleges technically right now. I found out that both schools, it's mandatory for students to do this program called Not Anymore, where they make you go through a web course on sexual assault and how to prevent it and how to, if you see something fishy happening, stop it. And I thought that that was so cool that now all these schools are doing it. It's a step in the right direction, but so much more needs to be done.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that it's an issue that people care about. I feel like we should take our shot skis and get into the horror.
So just before we take them, I do have to preface this with, besides the fact that my voice is very up-downy on a regular basis, as we know, it is very monotone. And sometimes it seems like I'm not interested in what you're saying, Ty. But you and I know the truth.
We know the truth. I know that you're always excited because you've always got a shit-eating grin on your face.
Or just a really angry face. Either of the two is pretty much
Oh, but the angry face
my
is
wheelhouse. So let me take my shot of cough syrup.
Oh, that's right. You're taking a shot of cough syrup. And
My hippie cough syrup.
And I'm drinking whiskey. Cheers.
Cheers. This cough syrup is everything. I'm just letting you know.
It smells like tea. It smells like some of the teas we used to have at the tea shop.
It tastes like tea. Heads up. You guys ever get sick, Olbas is the only way to go. Tell me things.
So today is going to be our last Pride Month themed episode. Yeah?
Yeah, and it will be coming out at the same exact time as the one we were supposed to release last week until I had a wedding and Pride, and then I got really sick and Ty got very busy.
It was just a busy, crazy week.
Yeah, but a positive week.
Yeah, but hooray for a double whammy, 2 episodes on the same day. That's pretty nice.
Nice.
I like. But I'm really really excited because I have been saving this story for when I could do true crime. Mm-hmm. It has a surprise ending if you're not familiar with who this serial killer is.
Okay.
I'm hoping that you're not familiar. Like, I'm really, really hoping it's a mystery because I don't want you to know the end.
Okay.
So today, I'm going to talk to you about Andrew Cunanan. Born August 31st in 1969 in San Diego.
Oh, it's my birthday.
Oh.
No, I was kidding.
Oh, the thing that you don't have?
Yeah, 1969 is when I was born.
Cunanan was raised by a religious Italian-American mother and a prestige-conscious Filipino-American father.
Okay.
He was the youngest of 4 siblings, and he had a relatively pleasant childhood. He never really experienced any of the childhood trauma that experts often categorize as being typical of violent criminals.
So no serial killer bingo?
Not really, no. Andrew was incredibly intelligent. He had an IQ of 147.
Nice.
Which is somewhere between the gifted and genius level based on the average IQ. As an adult, he spoke 7 different languages.
Oh, rad. That's amazing.
Real smart guy. Also, real dangerous and a killer.
Well.
When people make statements like that, though, I wonder, did he speak them fluently or did he just, like, dabble here and there? He was so intelligent that his parents recognized that, and because of it, doted on him.
Well.
They gave him everything that they could to make sure that he was going to succeed. They definitely treated the other kids way different than they treated him. That being said, they gave him the master bedroom in their home.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep. So that's the level this
You
was.
above me, yeah.
Yeah. They also paid for him to go to a prestigious private boarding school, and they did not do that for their other children. He went to school with politicians' kids and stuff. That's the level of where this boarding school was at.
Right.
So on top of obviously being intelligent, he was also really handsome, and he totally knew it. He was self-obsessed. He was a complete narcissist, among other things.
Perfect.
And upon graduating from his high school, his senior quote in the yearbook read, quote, "Après moi, le déluge."
Oh, after me the flood for real, though?
After me, the flood.
What a dick.
After me, the flood, which I thought was...
dick. He's a dick.
Interesting. Yeah. Oh, no, he's a dick.
Also, I'm sorry, when you're a high schooler, for your quote, which we didn't do quotes in my high school, I don't know if you did.
I don't think that we did either.
I feel like people that decisively use quotes about themselves that are in another language just means that they're trying to put themselves as better than anyone else.
Especially with him. I feel like that's so spot on. On top of all of that, Andrew also went so far as to tell people during high school and after that he came from Filipino royalty. Because Andrew was given so much by his parents and he was surrounded by students from wealthy families, he became accustomed to the finer things in life.
Oh, of course.
His father taught him from an early age that wealthy people would be able to give him the things that he wanted and that he should surround himself with them and he should learn as much about them as he could.
His father's not wrong.
He's not wrong, but I feel like I'm imagining if I was a parent, I would push my kid to, first off, find something that makes you happy, because being happy is important. And then once you find that thing, I would push you to just succeed in that and work hard. I wouldn't push you to, like, suck the blood and money out of other people.
No, I agree.
After high school, Andrew began seeking out wealthy men to socialize and form relationships with. And by the time he was 21, he had settled in San Francisco's Castro district.
Castro was like the beacon in this particular era.
Beneath his pleasant demeanor and his clean-cut appearance, Cunanan was addicted to hard drugs at this point, and he was dabbling in sex work, and he also was starting to get really into violent pornography and had occasionally been a part of the said violent pornographic films starring in them.
Okay, but if people are into it...
Yeah, I'm hardcore not yucking on anyone's yums. So I'm not saying that there's anything wrong, with being a sex worker. I feel like if it's something you want to do, then do it. And if it's something that you're maybe not crazy about, but it's how you get by, I'm not going to judge you for it.
I feel like there's a difference too. A lot of times it's the perception of it that is more harmful than the actual acts that are between two consensual adults, if obviously it's consensual.
The only thing about that I would say was a real problem problem was the addicted to hard drugs part.
Yeah.
Not for everyone.
No.
But sometimes it changes people, and it makes people do things that they otherwise might not.
Well, and also, like, take into account, too, that there are harder drugs that do change your brain chemistry.
Find resources, get help. Andrew Cunanan met Jeff Trail while Jeff was stationed at the naval base in San Diego. The two of them became fast friends, and although some speculated that they had an intimate relationship at one time or another, it's not true. The two of them never had a relationship. They were never anything more than friends. In fact, Jeff was the complete opposite of Andrew in many ways, and he was really kind of the only sense of normalcy in Andrew's life. The two of them were so close that Andrew would often describe Jeff as, quote, my brother. However, a rift formed between the two of them when Andrew began asking Jeff to help him sell drugs.
Oh, good, yeah.
Jeff was a good guy. Oh, good guy, Jeff. He was really, really uncomfortable with it and didn't like being put in that situation. And Andrew was a party boy, and his behavior and involvement with illicit activities had been wearing thin on Jeff.
Well, and you said that he was stationed there.
Correct.
So, I mean, it's already not great when you're in the military and you're even associated with people that are into drugs.
Yeah, you've got a CYA.
Yeah, because it could ruin your life.
So, unfortunately, because of all that, Jeff did have to tell Andrew that he wanted to end their friendship and he never wanted to see him again.
That sucks.
After they had their falling out, Jeff moved to Minneapolis for a job that he had taken. The timing and location of Jeff's new job struck a nerve with Andrew, not just because of their falling out, but also because Andrew's ex-boyfriend lived in Minneapolis, and that made him suspicious.
Okay, but also we're looking at ex-boyfriend, and also it's his job, so calm your tits.
Exactly. It's like, can a person not just move to a city?
Yeah.
So now enter David Madsen. This new guy is the ex.
Oh.
Yeah. David Madsen was an up-and-coming architect in the Minneapolis area. He and Andrew did have an intimate relationship. Andrew described David as being the love of his life, and he would tell friends frequently that he would leave everything behind and move to Minneapolis in a heartbeat for David if he was ever asked. David was career-oriented. He had a clear sense of direction in life, and many people believe that because David and Andrew were also so different, much like Andrew and Jeff were, that the time the two of them were together, Andrew was kind of like David's walk on the wild side. So David did eventually break up with Andrew. Things were not going well. It's much like what happened with Jeff. David's patience was wearing thin with Andrew because of his lifestyle.
If you're doing something that's making all the people leave from your life, maybe change that.
Yeah. So the breakup sent Andrew into a terrible depression.
Yeah, as you do when the love of your life is gone.
Exactly. In some ways, hearing that, for half a second, I got a little sad for him because I was like, well, his heart's broken. But then I remembered, oh no, you're a terrible monster. Feel nothing for this man.
Yeah. We've had that a lot, I think, with some of the people that we've covered.
We have, yeah. This breakup happens. He's now in this horrible depression. His friends are noticing that he's not coping well. And it's right around this time that Andrew decides that he's going to book a one-way flight to Minneapolis.
Oh.
He told friends that he, quote, had business to attend to.
Yeah, I bet.
And that business was murder.
Oh my God. Are you like a Dateline special right now?
I'm trying so hard to be. He went into Minneapolis. He had talked to Jeff ahead of time. He had talked to David ahead of time. He had made plans to hang out with both of them while he was there.
And it was okay on both of their sides. They were like, hey, I don't want to be your friend anymore. Also, I don't want anything to do with you. But yeah, it's okay if you come into town on a one-way.
Well, it was one of those things where, with an old friend, you start talking and you think, okay, well, maybe we can rekindle a friendship. And if you're going to be in town and I'm one of the only people you know here, then why not get together for a night? Sometimes you want to try to be amicable and be friends with your exes, which is big of him.
Yeah.
So David picked up Andrew from the Minneapolis airport when he arrived from San Diego on Friday, April 25th. They had dinner with David's friends, and according to David's friends, he was noticeably uneasy during the meal. The next day, Saturday, Andrew apparently had stayed at Jeff's apartment while he was not there. Jeff had gone out of town, but left a key for David under his doormat as he would be coming back while Andrew was going to be there. He did that. He stayed there. And then the next day, Andrew stole a handgun that Jeff kept in his apartment, along with a case of hollow point bullets.
Okay, maybe don't leave weaponry in your empty apartment when you're worried about your friend who has been having troubles with drugs.
You would think that that would be like the smart thing to do. A lot of people don't really think that murder is going to become a factor in their